So we're talking about intentionality this week, and it's also Holy Week, and so we're spending a lot of time thinking about the life of Jesus, especially the last few days of Jesus' life. And as I have written about this and thought about this a lot, I think Jesus had three key virtues in his life: humility, gratitude, and simplicity. And as I think about intentionality, one of the ones that has stuck with me is that Jesus, who was humble, though being very nature God, did not consider equality with God something to be grasped and held onto, but he humbled himself and became in appearance as a man, and he humbled himself even to the point of death on a cross. That's what we're celebrating in Easter, in the Holy Week, in the Passion Week, leading up to Easter, is Jesus' death, his ultimate act of humility, not just the humility of being born as a baby. So what would it look like for me to cultivate the attitude of humility? Well, today I want to talk about the first aspect of that, which is listening to other people, and then how we cultivate humility, listening to God, will be the subject of tomorrow. So I'm splitting listening into two days, but I think this is a really, really important way of life of living intentionally. So one of the things I think is helpful with listening to other people is how you order your food. Now, this was probably a pre-COVID-19 kind of practice for me most of the time, but I allowed other people to pick my food for me. So a server at a restaurant, the barista at the coffee shop, my wife. And so in this season, if you have roommates or a family that you're living with, what would it look like for you to allow them to pick the meals more so you can engage with them and talk with them? Now, obviously, I hope that you're also helping cook for them too. But I just think that this is a great practice of listening. The other one is thinking a little bit about your reading habits. So maybe when you read the Bible, you just mostly think of it as a personal thing. But what if you read the Bible with someone and you read it aloud? So you could get on a Zoom call or a Facebook call or a FaceTime call and read the Bible, and it not just be a personal practice, but a communal practice. I think that's something we've often lost, and we only hear the Bible read aloud often at church. The other ways of listening, I think, to other people are about questions. We're going to spend an entire week, actually next week, the theme for Value Add is the questions that we ask. And so I'm really excited to think about the questions Jesus asks in the Bible. He asks a lot of great questions. He also modeled a way of just listening to people. And so as I think about the questions that we ask often, are we asking good questions? So I hope you tune in next week as we think about that as well. Tomorrow I want to talk a little bit about listening to God, but I want to read for you again Psalm 1 as we think a little bit about the psalmist and the first three things. So here we go. The truly happy person doesn't follow wicked advice, doesn't stand on the road of sinners, and doesn't sit with the disrespectful. Let me read that again. The truly happy person doesn't follow wicked advice, doesn't stand on the road of sinners, and doesn't sit with the disrespectful. I think often the voices that we're listening to are the voices within us and the voices around us of deceit, of evil, of sinners as in things that separate us from God, take us away from God. And so we need to practice this humility where we're not trying to make it all about us. We're not trying to elevate our position. We're not trying to be the best person. We're trying to be humble. And humble means that I come to you with open hands, listening to what you actually have to say. Listening to you because I want to be in an intimate relationship with you. And intimacy isn't measured by just everything good all the time. It's an up and down kind of an experience. So what would it look like for you to not sit in the place, the deceitful or of the sinners, but actually to come open-handed and listen to others so that you might learn to listen to God? This is the way of Jesus. This is what's going to really add value to your life. This is doing life with intentionality.